Hello, it's Gomo back for Game 3 of Oldhammer, my quick 15-minute or so battle reports from the tournament a couple of weeks ago now, well, a week and a bit ago. Things do get a little bit hazy. I didn't want to sort of smash them all out at one go. I was been a bit busy, but I had to get Game 3 out. So for those who have watched the other two, just check them out on our YouTube channel. Game 1, Game 2, I was lucky enough to get 2 wins. First time I've just started out 2-zip on a RTT ever, so I was I think so. Pretty happy with that. And then going into Game 3, I actually, drew Pete, who is Pete Jenkins, Lizardmen player, who actually won the last, well, not this one, but a previous 2+ event that was the same tournament pack as this. So this is the Western Sydney gamers, I think, doing Oldhammer. The Oldhammer, they do it every quarter or so, although every second month or something like that now. It's getting popular. But the 2+ pod guys also ran a warm-up event, and he'd won that with Lizardmen. So hadn't played Lizardmen in Old World, so it was pretty cool. Excited to do that. I won't go through my army. If the first time you're watching, you can watch this video report if you want, but probably better if you go back to Game 1 and 2. Anyway. So he was running a Saurus Scarvet on a Carnosaur with a Great Weapon Glyph Necklace. I'm not always sure 100% what these do. Basically, I'm pretty sure also the Carnosaur does like the D3, sort of like a mini Ogre Blade against, my Wyvern and Giants and stuff like that. Skink Chief on a Pterodon with Ruby Ring, another Skink Priest, level 2 Battle Magic, Earthing Rod, Talisman Protection, and I believe this one was on the Ancient Steg with the Engine of the Gods. So the other thing with this tournament, if you don't remember, it's 1750, can't have a level 4, sort of like Throne of Skull comps outside of that. 10 Saurus Warriors, 10 Skink Skirmishers, 10 Skink Skirmishers, 15 Skinks, Skirmishers, Javelins, Poison, all that sort of stuff. One of those 10 were Scouts, another unit of 10 Temple Guard, a Solar Engine and Bastillodon with a solar engine and another ancient stag with the engine of the gods. So again, I'm not right up on all these, but basically, as Pete described to me, they're like souped up little mini fireballs. So he's with the poison and that, he's shooting out, a lot of magic, a lot of shots. And this scenario was sort of battle line setup, or whatever it's called these days, pitch battle or whatever. And basically, you had 3 victory points to take the general, basically to kill the general. And obviously, his is the Saurus on the Carnosaur, and mine is the Wyvern. So I'm the tanky, -1 to hit me. He's sort of like, we sort of compared stats, hadn't really looked too much, but he's sort of equivalent a little bit. His Saurus probably isn't as good as my Black Orc, I don't think, but this Carnosaur is up there. It's better than the Wyvern. So, but then he's hitting me on 5s, I think, or something like that. But he can get a D3 through on me. So I wasn't wanting to go straight into that guy, but I'd wanted to see what I could do first before I got to him. And yeah, I made a lot of dumb mistakes, and even during the game I knew I did. So the first thing in the other 2 games you'll notice, I put my Night Goblins pretty much in the middle, or at least able to get in the middle through TMP. For some reason here I didn't. I whacked my Black Orcs. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. Whacked my Black Orcs pretty much, trying to do a few drops, but he has so many more than me. That's one of the issues here. I didn't really... Yeah, I did a lot of things that are just dumb here. So Black Orcs in the forest, really probably should just put the Night Goblins there. So that was out deployed, and as he started to put stuff, and I think I did that initially because I saw this Bastillodon go down fairly early, and I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna be over near that side of the table. So that's sort of what I did, but trying to guess too much, and it backfired. The other thing I did is split my giants. I don't know if that's a good idea. I wanted to partner them up all the time, and here they're like split out, and I didn't like fully block out his his scouts, which I didn't really care about, but, they can be annoying as well. And then on top of that, I put my wizard over here between the Black Orcs, so then he's out of range of TMPing. Anyway, I made so many dumb mistakes in deployment. You can see, though, I did put my Black Orcs out that side, and the reason being I wanted to... At some point, I decided I want to probably try get a charge off in his general, just do some damage. If not, go through and hit one of those monsters or something. So I wasn't sure that sort of was their idea there. Yeah, and he pretty much cast it up over here on his left, so it sort of left my night goblins, which is fair enough. Like all these large targets are way away from my night goblins. I was like, oh, this is annoying. And I wasn't sure how bad these poison shots would be straight away. But anyway, we get turn one, so I just have to push. I basically ignore those skinks out on my left. Because my guy was out of range of TMP, I couldn't even get it off, or maybe he got in range because he has moved over, but I think maybe I failed. So I just moved him up, pushed the giants and the wyvern as quick as I could, pushed the boar boys up. Not so he could charge, but I like the idea of sort of having that turn 2 charge, see what happens. I can't remember why I didn't push my giant up on the left. Maybe he did, but maybe he was in the woods a bit, so he's -1 to movement. I'm not sure there. Maybe I didn't want to also block my night goblins initially, so there was a few little annoying things. Yeah, that's that side. And then, so I didn't really have anything in range, couldn't do anything, couldn't shoot him because I didn't have anything. So then he comes out and he obviously just sends his skink clouds everywhere and he pushes his Saurus Carnosaur, like he probably should have just done an inch away, but he pushed it to there. Which means I have to charge him. I can't get round. I have to charge, obviously, Frenzy. So, I'm going to get that charge off. But yeah, I think he just then starts shooting. So the good thing is, if I go back to this one, he actually magic missiles and shoots my boar boys and like takes them down to about 4 or 3 or something, and gives me the option to scoot through that little gap with a charge. But yeah, he starts putting, I'm not sure if he takes one giant down. Yeah, he does. You can see this giant here. I think that's Andrew or Josh, one of them. He goes down with poison and shooting. I don't think he can put anything onto my wyvern, which is good. But yeah, there's my turn too. Because he'd knocked enough boar boys, I decided and those poison dudes were just doing, that first turn I went, wow, there goes my giant. So I just charged them to try to wipe out at least a unit of them and overrun into that other unit behind just to try and clog them up. And I do exactly that, just wipe them out, overrun, hit those guys. So at least I'm trying to stop some of the poison coming at my wyvern. You can see I pushed again. Now I can't remember which one it was. One was out of range turn 1 and then TMP failed turn 2 or something like that. So these Nicoms aren't getting anywhere. And plus the scouts on the left had come up and started shooting me a bit. And this is where I didn't know this or remember this until the day after. I didn't even use my fanatics. And I probably could have fired them towards those skirmishes, maybe just 1 or 2 just to at least, do something. But yeah, totally forgot about that. Silly me. And then I finally, my turn 3. So yeah, he's moved his Carnosaur around. He started to like commit some of, you can see he actually charged, I think it was one of these ancient stags or whatever, into my bull boys as well. So got rid of them. I'd killed a few skinks, but that's about it. And then my turn, I pushed my archers up and got TMP off, which is a little bit annoying because I was so like, I would have moved those archers out of the way otherwise because I probably wanted, I didn't want that overrun. Like, sorry, what was it? So I moved him there. I could shoot. I put some wounds on his Carnosaur. I either did 3 or 4. You can see he's got a 3 dice on there now, which is good. But because where those orcs are, he's going to get a charge and then overrun, and I can't stand and shoot him. So I think I can't remember if I misplayed it or I think I'd even turned my orcs the turn before to start shooting, just dumb. So I should have just got him out of the way because if that had gone off, I would have had at least 2 shots at that Carnosaur, which didn't get. You can see my Black Orcs getting up there, whittling them around. And my Orc Wyvern was here, and I was debating going into one of these stegs, but I thought if I do that, I'm going to get charged by the Carnosaur in the side. Yes, he's down on wounds, but at the time I just went, I don't know, I want to, I don't know, I figured that the Nicoms can take some of this and sit there for a bit. Dumb me not using this is the perfect time to launch the Fanatics, isn't it, Colin? But yeah, so this could have changed hugely. But yeah, dumb on my part. Don't know why I didn't remember them. So silly. But anyway, I decided then I got a Black Orc, I got one giant, and I flew my Wyvern over there because he's got two tasty, like the little Bloxosaurus. I didn't really respect them. And then he's also got a Bastillodon, yeah, over there as well. So I thought, get over there, eat some of that up in a turn or two, and hopefully my Night Goblins are only half damaged, and maybe I can get back. Again, totally forgetting I had Fanatics. Then there's a lot of juicy targets there for Fanatics. Stupid, stupid, stupid. It is what it is. So yeah, they go in, wipe those Orcs, go into my what's it called? The Night Goblins, which is good or not good for me. Now, this is the other thing that I did dumb all game too. You can sort of see at the back of my wizard. Again, he was like wandering between the Black Orcs and the Night Goblins, and I wasn't committing him to putting him in unit. But then these skink skirmishes are coming up behind, and I don't know, I should have just had them in the unit, initially, and in the right spot to even do TMPs. He probably should have just been in the Night Goblins the whole time where that BSB was, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is about to go into my turn. I think well, maybe not, but yeah, he's killed anyway. He's shot off my Night Goblins, and now I'm out of magic. And here we go into my turn. So yeah, he wiped out a bunch. He pushed me back, and I reformed. Like I fell back in good order, so I was able to reform wider to get more attacks because I got poison still, and that's what I'm sort of trying to knock a few wounds off this Carnosaur. I charged Black Orc. I think he killed my giant through all poison, so they're gone. The Wyvern and the Black Orcs go into this little Saurus unit, and then in his turn, he charges me up the butt with the other Ancient Stag, which is funny. Like, I don't know, I was looking at the stat. I wasn't overly worried with my 2 up, 5 up, but... And then I missed a few turns here. So what happened, and this is where the game, like I was like, oh man. At the time, if I'd remembered that I forgot Fanatics, I would have been even dirty with myself. But this turn, I think I wiped out it must have been his turn. I won the combat there. My Black Orcs followed up or ran down those Saurus guys, but I didn't choose to follow up. Like, he gave ground with his Ancient Stag, so that way I turned my Wyvern to face this other combat, and my Night Goblins at least gave ground, if not fell back in good order again. And what it actually allowed me to do is see his Carnosaur. I could see that because if you imagine they were moved up, and I just sort of pivoted on my center, now I can see the edge of his base there. And so what I ended up doing in my turn, this is where I got a bit exciting near the end here, is I got my Wyvern into his Carnosaur. He only had those few wounds left, and challenged him and killed him. Actually, I shouldn't say I killed him. I did. I wiped him out. And so his Ancient Stag ended up fleeing, and I chased with my Wyvern and caught him and killed him as well. So wiped out his Carnosaur in one go, and then his other guy ran off, and I caught him. No, that's not what happened. He would have fell back in good order, and I followed up with the Wyvern and got him. And then that way I got my Night Goblins out of combat. But yeah, my Wyvern was now in combat with his guy, and my Night Goblins were free. The Black Orcs killed those Saurus, and then overran into the Temple Guard, beat them, and then they were falling back in good order, which is pretty cool. They were doing a lot of work there. So my Black Orc now was in combat just with his Ancient Stag, ended up killing that. And he'd been moving the other Ancient Stag around a bit, killed one of them, and then in the last turn charged it and also killed it, and had that many Night Goblins left. He didn't actually get them all. They were passing there. He was trying to shoot them and stuff, but he was running out of things. So I think that's how the game ended there. Yes. So that last 2.5 turns, or whatever it was, or 3 turns, my Black Orc killed the Carnosaur, got in combat with one of the Ancient Stags, killed that, got in combat with the other one, killed that, and my Black Orcs wiped out those 2 Saurus units, and it just swung huge. So even though I didn't remember my Fanatics, I was like, whoa, what just happened? Because when you go back, misplaying, well, not misplaying, but I just forgetting and just being a bit boneheaded with these guys, I just I didn't know what to do. I thought in my head, I thought he was just going to cane through them, and my wyvern was going to get stuck. And I was like, oh, this is not going to go well. But it worked out amazing. I couldn't believe it. And so in the end of the day, I won that one, killed his general, so I got the extra 3 points. So I got 3 zip on that one as well. And because this was the final placings, because at Oldhammer, which I actually like, if you have an unpainted army, you can't podium. So Adam smashed it with his Bretonnian unit, but it was all up. I can't remember if his was the fully unpainted or it might have been half painted, something like that. So he couldn't podium. So what we've done here is still giving him the ranking points, but we actually did get Quocky got first, Cameron got second. He played Andrew, I think, in the last game, and I got third. So it was my first podium. I was happy with that. Hang on. Should have prepped for that. And I got really excited to say that I got best painted and third place. Oh, that's a really bad angle. Anyway, so for a little RTT for me, who don't get out to many of them, I was pretty happy with my result. Like the Night Goblins, they were good. Giants were cool. They mostly died, but I mean, I guess they died, but they also took a lot of pin cushion in. So I guess if you're shooting them, you're not trying to wipe my Night Goblin. You can't take the points out of my General and Night Goblins and stuff. So don't know if they're the most competitive, but they were fun. Worth playing around with them still. I want to do up the Nomadic War as well and play around with that. But yeah, had a great time there. It was awesome. Hope you enjoyed those 3 quick little battle reports. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast, check that out over on the oldworldfanatics.com. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/oldworldfanatics, and just check our YouTube, like, subscribe. Please leave a comment on the videos. Tell us that, what you liked and what you want to see us look at. And yeah, just keep rolling dice, guys. Cheers.